Yo, good evening everyone, and welcome to the Miami Stock Exchange. Today is Sunday, and we're going to be analyzing the ES and NASDAQ levels for tomorrow. I'm super excited, well, through the next week entirely as a whole. And today is the June 1st, so let's lock in, guys. If we haven't already, we always try to stay locked in, but now it's wake up, it's the first of the month. Not to sound cringy, but that's the truth. First of the month, gotta lock in those gains, lock in studying, working hard. Let's do this right now. All right, we're going to be analyzing the NASDAQ, the MNQ, however you want to call it right now. Here we begin. So looking over here, 1 second, let me pause for a brief second. And okay, we're good. So let's check out the NASDAQ on the weekly chart. So we can see that on the weekly chart, the market has been, throughout last week, it was kind of in the channel and between the 21,550 level and the 20,950, or the 21,000 even. It was channeling between, and it broke above once, and then it rejected under again, as you can see on this day, or this is actually a weekly candle, so you can see that it broke up and then it went back down. So looking at some levels based on the weekly chart, we can see that, we're still in the range over here. This is our very, very key level that has honestly been something that I've been looking at very much throughout all of these trading sessions thus far. The 21,550 level. Very important level in my personal opinion. There are some short-term levels that I have noticed as of now, but in general, the market is still in the same range. We're going to be switching on to the daily chart to see what's going on. We can see a bearish pin bar that was formed a couple nights ago, and bullish pin bar. Right now we're still in the same range, and actually showing that on the daily we can clearly see that we have a head and shoulders going on. So this would be the shoulder, this would be the head, and then hypothetically we could cook up another shoulder. So that's going to be quite exciting if we can get that. We could anticipate the market to try to retest higher again. It could form a whole triple top formation, which is going to be pretty interesting. I also have noticed that we have a very large and important fair value gap that's cooking up right here on the daily chart. The fair value gap, let me switch the level colors. This would be yellow, and then we can turn this one yellow as well. That is a fair value gap that I think would be nice to pay attention to. We're going to switch down lower time frame, the 240, 356 as always, not 365. Switching lower, we can see that it's getting close to this fair value gap area. The market has been still rejecting the 21,550 level, 560, however you want to call it. A short-term level that I've noticed would be the 21,400 even. This is an important level, I believe, because we can see that over here on the 4-hour, there's been some highs, and this is kind of like a small head and shoulders that was formed, which is also quite interesting. I do want to say that on the daily chart, we can see that this could be considered an inverse head and shoulder. So we can see shoulder, head, and then now it's kind of forming another shoulder, and it could get all the way to all-time highs. But as of now, we just take the information that's been given to us. Tomorrow's Monday, and that's kind of like a start-off day for us to see what will happen, because there's going to be news and there are things that could affect the market status. We're going to be switching over to the MES. And on the MES, we're going to be looking at the daily chart again, per usual. The daily chart. And going over here, we can see that the market is also forming a little inverse head and shoulders. Daily looks more closer as if it wants to go higher. The market is still within the same range between the 6,000 and the 5850 level. This is weekly, just for your information. Last week was also a little bearish pin bar, wick candlestick, however you'd like to call it. And I'm a little in a rush today because I've been playing too much Counter-Strike. I was just with my siblings, with my brother, and then my brother-in-law's brother. Two separate games I played. It was kind of fire. I recorded some of it. Maybe I'm not saying that I will, but maybe one day I'll make a little montage and upload it for fun. But probably not because this is stocks related. We can see that on the daily or the 4-hour chart. This is a key 6,000 level. A short-term level that I noticed would be the 5850 as well as the 5740, but 5740 is kind of near the bottom area. That could be like around the fair value gap area for the NASDAQ. 60-minute time frame looks nice. We are going to need to see what's going on tomorrow. I do want to switch over and open up the news so we can see for next week right now. And looking at the trusty Forex Factory website, not sponsored, but still saying, we can see next week. Tomorrow, there isn't much. Oh, yeah, there is. My apologies. There is ISM Manufacturers PMI, which is quite of a important, very, very important news, as well as JOLTS job openings at 10 on Tuesday, ISM Services PMI, employment change, non-farm unemployment claims on Thursday, and then on Friday, average hour earnings, non-farm employment change, unemployment rate. So that's a pretty packed week, honestly. Tomorrow, look out for, I'd say, 9:45 as well as 10. So be on the lookout for that, guys. As always, here, trying to be here every night on that hustle, on that grind set, always on that grind set, analyzing for you guys for free. This is the Miami Stock Exchange, guys. And let's have a good day tomorrow. Let's follow our rules. Be stoic, execute with full courage, but also not be, egotistic. Don't be overly confident. You're not God. No strategy you use is the holy grail, but look for confirmation. I use the MACD. Okay, I use like head and shoulders, higher time frame. I use pin bars and break and retest. So these are like the typical things that I use. And of course, trying my best to maintain a good risk reward ratio. As always, it's good to have a good risk reward. Sometimes take partials when needed. Otherwise, attempt a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio, respectively. I'm working on that. Have confirmation. Be on the lookout for news. Just be aware on what's going on with the market. Think outside the box. Look at the higher time frame. Don't just be staring at the 1 minute, nanosecond time frame. Look at that 5 minute for confirmation. Look at the hourly. Look at the daily. Pardon me. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate whoever you are. If there's multiple, a couple, one. I know that in the future, when I'm successful, even more, you guys will be watching this and be like, dang, look at this guy. Genius. Well, I don't know. Well, but I have dreams, and thus far I've conquered a good amount, but I look forward to conquer so many more. And just living in the present moment, enjoying life, staying humble. I got rocking a nice little Casio right here. Love this watch. It's freaking awesome. But thank you guys so much for watching. Miami Stock Exchange out. Have a fabulous evening. Good luck tomorrow. See y'all. Peace.